Hey, what's up, Impact Squad? Stand up today because I want to have a discussion about a character that hasn't been utilized in almost 19 to 20 years. And y'all know who I'm about to talk about. Synch Everett Thomas. He hasn't been around in a long time. So I'm really excited that they brought him back to life. Finally. But before I begin this video, I want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and post a comment below. Let me know what you think about the revival of Synch. Man, this is a long time coming. I've been talking about Synch on this channel for a little bit, and I talked about how I wish they revive him. So now he is revived, and that's the good thing about it. He's revived, and one of the things that I hope that they explore is his psychological well-being, because in Dr. Cecilia Ray's profile, she pretty much says that psychologically he's not okay, and that is because, you know, like I said, he's been dead for 19 to 20 years in real time. So bringing him back, he's in a world where the people he trained with, kick it with, when they were all beginning, are now better than he is. They're either became teachers themselves, or, you know, they just have a better situation. Case in point, Jubilee, who now has a child. When Everett was around, she didn't have a child, but now she actually does have some form of a child since his resurrection. Pixie's gotten better, so it's characters that you see that ended up surpassing him because he's been dead for so long. And one of the things that she says is that if you're going to do a mutant, you know, they wouldn't recommend a mutant that's been dead for so long unless it is, how should I put it, unless it's not harmful, because they felt like it's harmful. So one of the things that they ended up doing was reviving Skin ahead of schedule, just so that Everett will have a familiar face. And I hope that they explore more of a psychological profile, even though I'm not really feeling the fact that they sent him on this suicide mission where, you know, 3 months has passed, but in that it could be 537 years have passed, and they haven't heard from X-23, Darwin, and Synch. And I hope they ain't just reviving him just to kill him off again, because you never know. They could do an X6 or whatever, have Darwin and X-23 come back, and then say, oh, well, Everett stayed back and died again. Like, all right. And you know, and in that time he can't be resurrected. So I'm hoping they don't do that weak stuff, because I'm not going to be happy with that weak stuff. But as far as that, seeing Synch again is making me want to read the X-Men again, like really get back into it to X-Men, because like I said, Synch was one of my favorite Generation X characters, and I thought how he died was so weak that I was disgusted on how he died, because he couldn't, like out of all the things that he could have adapted, he couldn't adapt her invulnerability and just took the blast. Like, that would have made more sense. That's how you would have saved all the kids. You know what I mean? Where he could have just jumped on the bomb, and if it exploded only on his body. That's what they could have done. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying when I say writers don't be thinking about this stuff. Where he said, okay, well, he has enough for her. Not, oh, let's throw all the kids out and then I die. Like, all right, man, it was weak. It was like super weak. So, I'm just saying, though, Everett Thomas. I mean, also, I do have in my underrated series about Everett Thomas. I'll try to put the link in the description if you guys want to. For people who don't know who Everett Thomas, aka Synch, is, I'll try to put that link in the description for you guys, just so people who's reading X-Men and not familiar with the character, you could get familiar with the character of Synch, because his powers is the ability to synchronize with anybody in his immediate vicinity. So he has like this rainbow aura that he can actually sense mutant, and it helps him follow mutants, but he also could synchronize with your aura. When he synchronizes with your aura, he ends up gaining your powers. And one of the main things was he could use your powers better than you can use your powers. I don't know what it's going to be like now, because as of now, he's been dead for so long, and like I said, you never know what Jonathan Hickman may do. He may decide to have his powers get overwritten or something, because it's 537 years. Who knows what they're going to do with it, but hopefully that part of his powers stays intact, because that was the coolest part. That if he took, like, let's say X-23's healing factor, where now he has the ability to regenerate lost limbs, something that X-23 couldn't do with her powers, which then gives you a more creative way on how a character could use their powers. And like I said, it's very exciting to see a character that you've been wanting for a long time, and they finally brought it back. I think, though, honestly, he was like a heavily requested character. Honestly, like people who were OG people who remember the Generation X, I think most of us will say that we love Synch, and that we felt like he shouldn't have died at the end of the day. But like I said, I'm glad he's resurrected, and let's see more of Synch and his interactions with the newer generation of X-Men that he doesn't know, because there's a whole bunch of X-Men that he does not know, and X-23 is one of them. And I'm hoping they have more interactions between, like, Synch, X-23, Synch, and Mercury, Synch, and all these different characters that he hasn't seen in a while. Mercury, he might have. I gotta go back into my old Generation X and X-Men book, because he might have actually interacted. I know he interacted with Pixie, but so he might have had some interaction with Mercury, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you guys are new to Power Impact Comics, I do appreciate you for listening to the end of this video, and hopefully we have a discussion about Synch. Just post a comment below. Peace out, y'all.